Hi everybody, and welcome to Chapter 8. In Chapter 8 we're going to talk about activity-based costing, or ABC. ABC, or activity-based costing, is different than what we've learned before, and it's relatively new in the area of accounting. When I say new, probably the last 30 or 40 years we've been starting to do activity-based costing. It's getting really popular now that we have service-based businesses, and it works really well with those. To explain what activity-based costing is first you got to know what an activity cost pool is. Alright, so an activity cost pool is like a bucket that captures all the costs for a particular company's overhead. And then there's cost drivers, which we identify as a driver of those costs. Alright, so to give you give you an example of it, if I were a custom home builder and I was building custom homes, I would have different orders coming in, and I'm designing custom homes. Each house design with the different layout and stuff is going to cause overhead costs, because each one's going to have to be done a little bit differently, again due to particular blueprints and so forth. The number of houses of different designs that I have in my portfolio is going to drive those costs. And lastly, customer relations. In custom building, you're going to have a lot of upfront costs when you're wining and dining or trying to attract the customers to you. The customer relationships could be a lot of different things, whether it's hosting parties to get people to see your products or open houses. All those costs are customer relations. They're not direct costs, they're indirect costs. Those are going to be driven by the number of active customers you have. So that would be a cost driver for that. So again, just to re-explain, activity cost pools are like a bucket. They capture our manufacturing overhead costs, which are indirect costs. Then we use a cost driver that we help determine that drives those costs, and that's how we apply the cost. Instead of using one particular item like we did before in Chapter 3, where we had manufacturing overhead costs divided by one particular driver like direct labor hours, and then applied the predetermined overhead rate based off of that. Here we're applying it to many different cost pools and applying it according to the cost drivers. Alright, I hope this helps. I'll see you again in Chapter 9 from different customers. And the customer orders would involve a lot of paperwork, blueprint work, all these indirect costs that would help me or would drive up the cost of the manufacturing overhead, indirect cost. Alright, the number of customers orders that we had, the more we had, the more the cost orders, or the customer orders cost or indirect costs would go up. Alright, so that's one example. Another example would be if I'm the custom builder